Good morning. We are going to continue with the morphology of flower, and today we are going to discuss the male reproductive part of a flower, that is androecium or stamen. Right? Now you have already learned about stamen in your 10th standard also. The stamen is having the two parts, that is anther and filament. The anther is having the two lobes, and each lobe is having the two pollen sacs where the male gamete, that is pollen grain, is produced, and a long filament is there which is basically attached to different parts of flower, and it bear the anther. This is the structure of anther. See, you have seen this structure in your previous classes also. When you see the transverse section, you can see the pollen sacs, and within the pollen sacs you can see the pollen grains, which are the male gamete. Now here you can see the line of dehiscence also. Line of dehiscence means this is the part where the stamen is, from where the anther is going to split and it will open and pollen grains will be released. That is line of dehiscence. Now let us see the different types of stamen on the basis of number. Now if the number is definite and indefinite, if it is definite, that means the stamens are few, and indefinite means the stamens are many, that is uncountable. Right? Now in case of definite number, we have monoandrous and diandrous. Monoandrous, diandrous, triandrous, tetraandrous, that means one stamen, two stamen, three stamens and four stamen. Now in case of indefinite numbers, the polyandrous condition is there, that means where the number is uncountable. Now on the basis of adhesion or attachment of stamen to various floral parts, it can be epipetalous, episepalous, gynandrous or gynostegium. Epipetalous means when it is attached to petal, when it is attached to sepal, when it is attached to gynoecium, and when it is adhered to stigma. So these are the various terms that are used for the stamens based on its attachment to different floral parts. Now let us see the type of androecium on the basis of length of filament. So if the filament are too long and too short, two long filaments and two short filaments, then that condition is known as didynamous. If the length of the filament is like that ki 4 long is there and 4 too short are there, then it is known as tetradynamous. Now if the filaments can be free and filaments can be fused. Now monadelphous condition, where you can see that the filamentous is fused. See, this is the monadelphous condition where filament of all the anthers is fused into one group. Now let us see the next one, diadelphous. Now here filament is 2 in number. You can see the one filament is showing you the one or the two anthers, whereas the other filament is showing you many anthers, that is fused to common filament. Same is a tri, tetra and polydelphous, when filament are fused in group of 3, 4 or more. So these are the different types of anthers on the basis of length of filament. Now let us come to the next topic, that is the symmetry of a flower. You have already learned about symmetry, that in animals the radial and the bilateral symmetry is there. So in flower, those symmetry are named as actinomorphic or zygomorphic. Now when you talk about the actinomorphic symmetry, it is radial symmetry, and the flowers can be divided into two equal halves along any plane. You can see here the actinomorphic symmetry, which is shown by mustard, dhatura and chili. Next is the zygomorphic, which is also called bilateral symmetry, and is divided in, and the flower can be divided into two equal halves by a only single plane passing through the center. Pea, gulmohar, cassia are the examples for the zygomorphic symmetry. And there are asymmetrical flowers also. The asymmetrical flowers are those flowers which cannot be divided into two equal halves by any plane passing through the center. Rose is the best example of asymmetrical flower. So these are all the new things that you have learned today. Kindly note down the important points, and in case of any doubt or a query, you can call. Thank you.